Vitality just lost Dust 2. After 5 months, they finally lost this map. They held a 17-map win streak against every top team imaginable in the scene and carried them through the last Budapest Major and through Grand Slam to get that second gold bar as the only team in the history of Counter-Strike. They just lost the map that helped them clinch an era that is better than Astralis. And they lost it to Foot, with a playing coach. And it's not really important that they lost it, but how they lost it. At halftime, they shared a moment where Apeks is talking to his team, and in this speech, he said that what they're doing right now is a mess. In fact, he said it's effing disgrace.
Okay, guys, I don't know how we're playing right now, but it's a fucking mess, boys. Let's fucking pray for the team. Yep. It's a fucking disgrace the way we fucking play right now. For fuck's sake, it's not a fucking bug, boys.
In this video, we will decipher what he meant by that, and we will closely look at mistakes that might be impossible to catch during live broadcast. Let's get stuck in. Okay, so obviously we are interested in looking mainly on what they're doing in a macro perspective, because what Apeks said is that this is not a puck, and that suggests that people played very individualistic. They were maybe overpeaking. They were losing focus and losing that spark to play for a team, which Vitality is known for and is carrying them through the lot of tournaments lately. We already see a pretty good piece of utility at the beginning. Why it's a little bit out of meta, or not really out of meta, but why it's important to know this is because Apeks just threw a unblockable Xbox smoke. So even if CTs decide to rush, towards middle, this is impossible to block, because CTs cannot climb up onto the Xbox that fast. Meanwhile, a lot of people are throwing just a door smoke, which CTs can easily just step over. Usually, we want to focus especially on gun rounds, where Apeks has a feeling that they're playing more buggy and they're doing a lot of effing disgraceful mistakes, as he put it. So we have a kill and we're doing a B split. We have a kind of push from Coolio into the ropes, but this kind of like last-ditch effort and hope. Jukes is also overrun from every angle, and everything is looking pretty fine, apart from one little detail as well, and that is that Robs decides to do something that is not really characteristic to him, that he just decides to take a lot of space in a 2v5. I know that he thinks that maybe CTs are saving, but he's gonna get called actually off guard here. Grants Demon a knife kill. Not a big of a deal, it's 1v5 after all. However, it's something that you don't really see happening. Like Robs getting knifed, well, it's usually not Robs that is being out of position in a moment where he even can get the knifed, and thanks to this knife, obviously the injection is huge. When it comes to finance, you can immediately see Demon purchased an M4 right from the get-go, and they're going to play around that force buy, which is all of a sudden way more dangerous with that knife kill being in play. This is something very interesting, that if someone makes a knife kill in a pistol round on CT side, it is very likely that these CTs will force. And that's why I kind of wonder why we're having like this kind of a fast mid-strafe coming from both Apeks and ZywOo, because it is very likely that Scout will be just holding you, right, from an angle. Like right now, Symmetry is just still holding Suicide, but he still goes for the peak, and obviously this is like a free shooting gallery. He even tagged ZywOo. In the meantime, that M4, which I was talking about, swing from short, catches Apeks off guard, fumbling the nades, and this would be okay if this is the call, right? We just want to go fast middle and really not care, or maybe surprise the scout being around middle. But while all of this is happening, I actually see that ZywOo is lining up the smoke on top of the door, which is designed to take this mid control. He's throwing the smoke when Apeks is already dead. So, like, it kind of makes me question, like, what was meant to happen here, right? Was Mezzi delayed with his smoke? I don't think so, because if ZywOo and Apeks decide to strafe this smoke is never going to be landed there just yet, or in this case, it's this one. So if they just want to take it safely, which, looking at Mezzi, it suggests me that they wanted to, why would we strafe before that smoke is even up? It's kind of what was the idea. And there is also a confirmed tag on ZywOo, so he decided to go for a little bit of a lurky option towards long, as he's low HP. We will have a B push Robs is actually the one getting tagged. Now Robs is low HP as well. He's disconnected from the rest of the guys. Flamesy actually took a lot of space and decided to go into the CT, but simply this 3v4 is just way too much to handle. Robs is also low HP confirmed from Coolio earlier. In the end, the force buy goes the way of Vitality. Oh, sorry. In the end, the force buy goes the way of Foot. So we have a force buy coming back from a Vitality. They want to stop them in their tracks. And this is something that is very unfortunate. And what happened here is that Zyvu is going to miss this smoke, which is, again, a top door smoke lineup, and he misses it. Now, this is very unfortunate because Zyvu threw the smoke probably 1,000 times in his life, and he's not going to fail it. He's not kind of a guy. However, just few hours or days before this event, there was an update which slightly changed the way grenades behave or your models behave on slightly angled surfaces. And believe it or not, this is one of the positions where the game treats you as you're on some kind of an angled surface. And therefore, it pushes you up, and this lineup is no longer viable. It is viable, but you have to get stuck in a weird way into this corner. And Zyvu doesn't know this. So whether he doesn't know this because they've had little time to prepare, they were traveling to the event, to US, and maybe he didn't check his... Like, first of all, this is all on Zyvu. I'm not blaming the game or anything like that. This is on Zyvu not checking his smokes before the game. But you can already see that it is one layer of a frustration, because you can immediately see that Apeks looks around like, what the hell is happening? Why Zyvu failed his smoke? And he has to use his own smoke to smoke mid door instead, because otherwise the default is going to be very hard to pull off with this kind of weapons and this kind of utility. Now, Apeks bought the smoke for a reason, but right now, by the way, he actually missed the door smoke as well. That is pretty funny. It didn't spread all the way up. I didn't even notice it on the broadcast. So even Apeks failed his own smoke. And now he's missing a smoke for an original idea. So the round that they were originally planning to do is now ruined. And now Apeks is probably creating some kind of a different approach to the round, because they're 2 smokes down while still not having short control. They decide to go close to short. Flamesy and Apeks, they both die. And now Zyvu cannot really play despite having an AK. He's stuck behind the smoke. He has a C4. He has to wait for his long teammates to create something. By the way, this is absolutely nuts shot from Messi to bring back the round somehow. Is it going to be enough though? Wait, what is that? Yep, it's sponsor of today's video, SkinsMonkey. SkinsMonkey is a fully automated, instant way to get better CS2 skins, and they just added an insane new feature, an inspect server. You don't have to guess what a skin looks like anymore. You can jump directly into the server and test drive skins in-game before you buy them. Once you find what you like, trading your old skins for new ones takes just seconds. And if you use the code STYKO, you can get up to $5 for free as a first trade bonus. The bigger the trade, the bigger the bonus. Want to buy with real cash? Use code STYKO for a massive 35% deposit bonus. They even have a free section where you can do simple tasks to enter daily, weekly and monthly giveaways. Check out SkinsMonkey using the link down in the description, and thanks to them for sponsoring. Now let's get back to the video. It's still heavy disadvantage. Krebeni is in a great position around car, and still Zyvu is in no man's land by himself with a C4. He hears all this rotation, wins the duel, and because of he hearing the rotation, he knows that B is clear. This does not really matter as Robs loses this duel. By the way, if Robs wins this duel, they probably are, you know, pretty free winning this round. However, they at least get a bomb plant down here. This is pretty tough 1v2 for Zyvu, but not impossible. Obviously, it's Zyvu, right? Very, very cool, but he's bailing them out right now, you know, with the shooting, with everything. He's maybe a little bit frustrated about that smoke that he missed. He doesn't know why he missed it. This bug is not widely known, especially at the time of playing this game, because the update was so recent and they're forced to play on this update. But Zyvu doing Zyvu things, he just wins it. I don't know what's happening with Zyvu smashing his mouse right and left. Is he gonna hit this smoke though? Because Apeks did not previous round. Yeah, this one works. Anyway, we have aggression coming from FUT. Double swing. This is pretty good. Oh, that's unlucky. Apeks ran into that. After all, 3v3. Could have been way worse. They get a real estate towards long. Mezzi actually played his hand. Zai was about to join him. Robs is obviously on his lurk duties in tunnels. But let's see how this is going to be played out. If there's going to be some, you know, individualistic plays coming into this round, as Apeks is going to be frustrated about. Because remember that voice clip we played at the end, at the start of the video, that was done at the halftime. So that still did not happen. Robs walked out to B, everything's pretty clear, and they're making correct assumption and rotation towards B. Because the site is clear, Robs has all the information, waiting for his utility to secure the bomb plant, and after all, the round is pretty free. Good positioning and mid-round from Robs to walk out at B. Alright, we have a flash out middle. Jukes gets completely punished immediately. Another kill. Oh, Coolio actually, as a coach, doing these kind of double kills is super valuable, by the way. Pretty cool shooting from Coolio. In the end, still, it's B player dead, so Robs immediately takes action, and all the real estate towards B side. Mezzi is on the way to him with a C4. This is, again, like, very methodical approach from Robs. He's taking space when B players are either dead or they are known on some other part of the map. He's playing on that kind of information, and then he's taking necessary space. So here, Mezzi decided to plant for heaven, and this is kind of unfortunate 1v2 clutch that I want to talk about because of his molly was a little bit too deep. Krabeni actually decides to take the timing, go through. Mezzi is exposed, and then Robs was eventually low HP from that fight previously. He knows that he's outside B, and when the door is smoked, this is pretty easy 1v2 for Krabeni, I'm gonna be honest with you. Could Robs go back right after this kill and secure the bomb plant instead of taking all the space? Yes, he could, but you can see that because he's low HP, he wants to kind of like smoke himself and go back that way, but it's simply too late because Krabeni is already out, he's killing Mezzi, and he knows where Robs will be coming from. And now we have yet another situation where Zaivu is going to do the same smoke, okay? And he doesn't know that this is a bug, and he's very frustrated about this probably. And Apeks must be like, what the hell are you doing? Like, how are you missing the smoke, which is essential for our dust too? But again, in the heat of the moment right now, they don't know it's a new update thing. It's not Zaivu missing it. It's, well, it is. He should have checked it. I mentioned before. He should have checked all his lineups, but at the same time, it's not like he forgot the lineup or anything like that. Anyway, Apeks is taking a lot of space just with P250, by the way. This is like pure IGL, thinking he has a timing, and he goes for it. If he doesn't, well, he just lost the P250, and probably there's anyway, like, reaction towards B split, so he's taking this, even though it's heavily under... He's just faking. What he's doing, he's trying his best to fake and cause any kind of rotation. And this is another thing which I already made video about. I will show it somewhere here around me. This is, again, this Dust2 protocol coming into play, which I leaked a couple days ago that I uploaded this. This is what I'm saying, is that it's a huge red flag if your Oper dies around this middle for any kind of reason, and especially if he dies on the right side of the mid. Why it's a red flag is because of this death, you can guesstimate that there's only 2 players towards B and 2 players towards A, and if you're gonna do this B split smoke and pair it up even with this smoke, CTs are going to over-rotate and try to like be super careful about the B split. And you can immediately see that this is a protocol that every top team uses. The Falcons use it, I saw Furia use it, there's Bet Boom using it, everyone basically. If you make this kill, you do a B split smoke and you immediately rush up short. This is exactly what Vitality are doing, apart from Apeks, who is as the only guy with low HP giving all his utility to short players, and he's the one running long as the only guy that is kind of doing the split. But the majority of the attack is coming from short. Why is this so powerful? Because the threat is a B split. Every A player is going to try to negate that threat by going towards city spawn. And when they're on the way to city spawn, they're super vulnerable, out of cover, and strafing is actually really, really powerful, especially with AKs. In this case, Zaivu has an AWP. They're all vulnerable to all the flashes, and they're like put in a really favorable position. In the end, it was a correct call. It's a 3v2 after plant. It's pretty favorable for Vitality right now. Now, you can see that CTs are clearly attempting the retake, but Robs is kind of, in my opinion, he's pretty late right now, okay? Like, he's still trying his best to like join the fight. He actually has a fight on Coolio, which he's going to lose. But then there's also Apeks losing a fight on Jukes, and Zaivu is being kind kind of like pincered from two sides. He wins the first duel against Coolio, but Jukes actually wins the 1v1. So in the end, they were in a very favorable A side after plant. But in my opinion, like, since there was one CT already known, like almost under the side, and Robs was still kind of like way too far away from the action. He felt kind of like maybe rushed to help his teammates. I definitely think that that Robs could have played it maybe a little bit better and earlier, because it was clear that CTs are actually going for a retake, while I think Robs was playing more on catching off the saving CTs. We move into the last 3 rounds of the half, and FUT are finally on a buy round. And we have a long play. This is what Vitality has in their strat book, obviously, where they kind of like go long with the corner smoke. This is like a long pop, which clearly FUT are ready for. I can immediately see that when they see the smoke, like they're kind of ready to. Demon is dodging the flashes. They're ready to like counter, push them away. Corbani actually gets an important entry, and Demon then goes for double entry right away. He's going to pick up that smoke that he saw lying inside of the smoke, so he gets extra. Plus, it denies terrorists of getting their own smoke back. Again, Vitality in a terrible position. 3v5 situation, no control. They're scared of lower. They don't have short. They don't have long. They do have Zaivu alive, though, and Robs. Let's see how they're going to utilize that. All right, so the call is to kind of like fake B split, it seems. They're not actually going to clear behind the door on middle. So this is quite telling, and Corbani instantly realizes that they just fake that B split and they're probably going towards short or tunnel. In this case, it's confirmed that they're towards short. Actually, Demon has a pretty sick shot here. One tap, Apeks, pretty sick shot as well. There's a lot of great shooting so far. And yeah, in the end, it falls apart. It was just too much to handle for Vitality to come back from that 3v5. But called from FUT to wait for that long pop when they see that smoke. They kind of predicted it. It was clearly, I don't want to say anti-strat, but the protocol that is pretty powerful. In this case, we do have, again, Apeks doing his default nades from suicide, and rest of the team is gathering towards that B side, which suggests that this is going to be simple B pop or a B execute, however you want to call it. Zaivu is holding this door smoke. It's a pretty easy lineup, by the way. So it's a middle of this smallest brick, and then he's aiming right here. You can kind of like on the same line of this kind of decal on the wall. I don't believe this is a W jump throw, but let's see how he's gonna throw it. Yeah, that was a W jump throw, and Jukes actually plays it very smartly in a and not an anti-flash position, but they're playing like a retake. They're letting them taking the side, and they're trying to get a spam kill through the door. As well through the window. Coolio actually throws himself in. Jukes gets another one, and pretty favorable 2v3. Well, pretty favorable, I say, but I would say maybe even 50-50 right now. Especially right now. This is definitely a T-sided clutch. Getting important kill on ropes, and now it's all about just waiting out the smoke, I guess. Actually, no, they're going in before, which I would consider is suboptimal, but Symmetry actually hits the shot. They did have a kid as well. I would probably wait it out, but anyway, 5-6. Let's move that. Like again, like I don't see a lot of face it. I see pretty decent decision making, sticking together. All right, this is kind of crazy that Apeks does this, but I honestly think Apeks should be dead here. Okay, what happened here though? So Robs is given. What was he given? Nope, nothing. It's just towards B. It just bulks like raw into an op, which. He knows it's towards B side of the map as well, and he just made an insta rotation towards B. Again, uncharacteristic from Robs. This is kind of like third thing that I point him out during this half, is right now taking this kind of an angle or a peak that is not really necessary. Alright, Zaivu actually gets a kill here, and it was on Jukes as well. Demon makes a kill elsewhere, so we do have a very winnable 2v3 clutch from Mezzi and Zaivu. Oh, okay, he actually got stacked there. That's pretty annoying. Interesting bomb plant. Not going for a default there. Like, Foot are aware of everything, and they're not getting caught off guard, which is pretty good. Oof, nice shot from Mezzi, but In the end, that's a 6-6. And now this is where we were giving this snippet of Apeks calling out his teammates like, this is not a bug, guys. Like, focus up. I want to find a reason why he said that. I don't want to single out players for doing mistakes because obviously that's pretty dishonest and it's just not how it works. This is a team game after all, and we obviously cannot hear the full comms. But obviously, some things are frustrating for Apeks. As a in-game leader, he expects his teammates to know the grenades, to know the utility. ZywOo, because of not knowing the recent update, he's missing 2 crucial smokes on 2 crucial rounds. They're losing these clutches towards the B side, like these after plans, 2v2s, 2v3s, etc. They only won 1 2v1 on this B side, which was ZywOo winning it by his lonesome. And we also did have kind of Rob's, I would say, suboptimal plays a couple of times throughout this half. Other than that, I'm not seeing a lot of buggy plays as you would expect from other teams. I mean, obviously, Vitality are held to a different standard. Even in best of 5 IAM Rio final, after the first map of Mirage, I spoke with Xtas and asked him, like, guys, like, it was uncomfortably close. Like, why did it take so long for you to finish and clinch this Mirage? And he said, to be honest, we're doing a lot of shit. Like, we're doing a lot of mistakes and we're missing smokes. We're missing a window smoke and then it cancels the whole our plan. Like, we're doing a lot of bad stuff and it shows, and I'm very frustrated about it. He didn't say it that way, but I'm paraphrasing, right? So this is clearly showing that Vitality are holding themselves to clearly a different standard. And whenever they're having a close game, they're okay with that. Maybe even if they're losing a map, they're okay with that if they played well and they got legit outplayed. But if they're trolling themselves and sabotaging themselves through either bad comms or bad plays or mistakes that are unforced errors, that's when Apeks steps in and he says that, guys, I won't have any of that. Like, you either wake the fuck up and step up, or we have no business winning this map. So right now there was the speech, and let's see how it changes in coming into the CT side. See, Kerbeni is going to throw the same smoke. He's going to have the lineup. Let's see how he does. See, he crouches, so the smoke goes through. He doesn't fail it there, but he fails it anyway. What is up with these smokes, guys? I mean, it still lands kind of correctly, so in the end it works. But this is so funny how our players not checking. I mean, why would you check every single smoke after an update which did not touch Dust 2 as a map? It touched animations, and it was... Nothing was really said about, like, grenades, or it was, but in reality, a lot of the lineups are staying the same. And this is one of the lineups which are actually not staying the same. And it's funny that both Kerbeni and ZywOo are struggling with the exact same smoke in the same best of 3. Now, Robs instantly dies. Apeks doesn't show himself. Now, you might be thinking, like, Apeks just told them to play for a team and he's not trading Robs here. But he's not supposed to trade Robs. Like, trading Robs would be actually a mistake, in my opinion. He's waiting for them to maybe cancel the short hit and actually run towards lower, where Apeks would get a lot of better opportunities to get these kills. Okay, so this is completely correct play coming from Apeks to not attempt the trade immediately. And therefore, he's on a fast flank, which is going to be good. He gets a kill. Terrorist really can plant the bomb only in one spot right now, but Flamesy is going to get chased down. Apeks dies as well. All right, so pissed around goes the way of FUT unless ZywOo shuts me down. Nope. Bro, can someone hit him? Thank you. All right, we have another force, double scout coming from Vitality. ZywOo starting towards long. Messi is the one doing the scout duty towards middle. Okay, Demon actually has a smoke. New one, different one. So he goes on top of this, gets himself stuck in this corner. That's why he jumps into the corner. So the lamp, it's really hard to explain, but this wall and this lamp creates a corner, okay? He gets stuck into that. If you don't jump, you're gonna go underneath the lamp. That's why he jumped, okay? Now, he crouches, he aims there on the connection of, well, you just see it, on the connection of this piece of metal and this piece of metal. Crouches, jump throws. Let's see if this guy lands his smoke. Yeah! Wait, what? Guys, you can't be serious. Guys! Check your smokes, everyone! This is unreal. We have 4 different lineups shown in a single demo, by the way. Mezzi from here, Zaivu from here, Kerbeni from, again, same position, but different lineup, and then Demon from here, and everyone fails it? This is so messy Counter-Strike. And I love every second of it. Let's see how it goes. They're attacking B side. All right. Well, this is just... Bro, how many flashes was there? This feels like a Milky Way galaxy. Like... Okay, there's only 4 flashes. This doesn't feel like 4 flashes. Oh, it's because HUD doesn't show double flash. Okay, so 1, 2... Look at this. 2 double flashes there, 2 double flashes there, 1 flash there, and 1 entry flash. Very easy to hit side B when you have this amount of blinding lights. That should be a Kanye West strategy. Kanye West pop. Any new top of the door lineups that you guys want to show to me? Oh yeah. Demon. Show yourself one more time. Bruh. Is this for real? I mean, fair play to Zaivu for hitting that kind of a shot, but this is terrible. Guys, this is terrible. That's not good. Okay, let's focus on what is actually happening. This is a very powerful setup, by the way. If you're playing Dust 2 as a team, you should have this anti-short force buy setup, okay? You have a scout on this angle, one guy close here, either 5-7 or MP9, everything's good. And then you would have one utility... Wait, does he have? Yeah, he has utility. You would have a utility guy that either offers these kind of repushes into short with HE or flash, or both. Or if they're actually taking short, you do have still flash to kind of flash your number 4, which was here. He would flash into short. So this is very effective and powerful. And if they're going long, you still have good amount of utility to shut down split from short. All right, let's see how this one goes. This is pretty winnable, even though Flamesy is on low HP. This is a very powerful angle. I expect Jukes to get 2 kills here every time of the day. Gets a triple. Alright, so we do have immediately a play from Flamesy. He instantly takes this long and he parks himself in this ridiculous position, 1:37 on the clock, okay? While terrorists are defaulting, they're aware of it, they're aware of the push, but they're like not aware of someone being like literally there. And the reason for this is that Flamesy is, by the way, like winning the round single-handedly with this piece of information and this piece of like push that he did. The reason for this is that this is anti-strat, okay? And Vitality spot a weakness in FUT's gameplay, which is that whenever they're defaulting and they have these gun rounds, they're very likely focused on middle, and even a long player, which is Demon, he's throwing a lot of the times this top of the door smoke, which makes this kind of unattended for a brief period of time, right? Where they can just sneak into the long house. If they don't smoke it themselves, they will just sneak through it with a molly, as Flamesy did there. And he completely, single-handedly, triple kill, won the round, get a C4, and this was an anti-strat, okay? So I will show you last 5 matches of FUT. So look at this. These are all the gun rounds that they played, even with the Vitality, by the way, Vitality game, which Vitality in the prep, they did not have this piece of information, obviously. So these are, if you look at the timing, it's either fast long hit or Demon is mostly gathered around this area outside long, right? Very unlikely that he is inside long doors or long house, however you want to call it, or he's holding for this line. It's only happening 1, 2, 3 times, you know, 4 times here, 5th time. Like you see, like it's very rare. Most of the time he's here, and this is clearly a weakness that they have spotted. And even if he's in the long house, he's always kind of like in this position on the left, which is, I believe, what Flamesy is actually pre-firing. So if I look at only the beginning of the rounds, and if it's not a fast long hit, he is most likely here. This is a very rare occasion that he is in these positions, and that's when Flamesy is actually pretty comfortable taking that. All right, we have, again, the same play with the molly and the HE. You see like how he preempts that one corner on long, by the way, right now. He just preempts that because he knows that's the only position where Demon, as a long player, is playing. But right now, there's Coolio and Symmetry as well holding. And this is extremely rare, by the way, because if I pull that data one more time, and if I put actually Lungs, because Coolio is playing instead of Lungs, and then Symmetry, there is this weird round which they're actually running sometimes. So I will just turn off Demon and just look at these rounds, okay? these rounds where players are here. Let me just vote and no, not this round. Give round. This was the round that is pretty recent, but let's go back. Yeah, so this is extremely rare round that sometimes they decide to do where they anyway want to like walk out long with symmetry holding a little bit, and they have longs, in this case Coolio and Demon close by. Okay, so I think that they wanted to go for this kind of a round right now because of how many players are outside long. Exactly. Okay, Demon, Symmetry, and Coolio, in this case, in that case it would be longs, are exactly here getting ready for it. Right now they do not have an AWP, but it feels like they wanted to punish just this, okay? And they wanted to do something like that to go long a little bit later. In the end, flamez got punished, and they're running into B side, which is completely clear, and Vitality are saving. Next round, we're gonna be doing exactly same thing on long, by the way, okay? You can see that, again, flamez is pre-aiming the same corner, but because of his own molly, because it was a little bit too shallow, he does not see, because of his own flame, he does not see Coolio. In that case, it would still be longs, guys, okay? And from Coolio's POV, by the way, very easy frag. Not an easy frag, but at least he saw flamez. flamez did not see Coolio, and that was flamez's mistake. He probably wanted to put that molly a little bit more deeper, and you can see that it's, again, Demon and Coolio in the exact same corners, and Symmetry is right behind them. And they actually don't have an AWP this time, but they probably still wanted to do the round they wanted to do originally before. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is kind of a meta, and yes, this is exactly the lineup that Symmetry has for an AWP, when he has an AWP, to walk into the long smoke and just pre-fire the guy in the corner. Is he gonna do it? He has the lineup. Yes, he's doing that. He knows Apeks is on the corner. He just shot. Okay, Apeks just destroys him through the smoke, but you know what I'm saying? Like, these guys are actually, like, flamez and Vitality, they found a weakness. Apart from one round that Foot is actually running, and they wanted to do that round as a part of the game plan for 2 rounds in a row. Let's see what happens on long again. Is that the same play? Well, it looked like it, but now he decides to smoke anyway, and he just plays close to it. So he didn't really go for that play. It's, again, very solid defending. This time, it's basically the same setup. It's just that Apeks is the one in CT instead of ZywOo, and now ZywOo with an AWP is actually on short. Apeks also boosted, anticipating that B split, but now he realizes B split is actually not going to come, and he needs to help ZywOo. ZywOo is in a pretty terrible position. Now, definitely bad position after flamez got called. So a 2v3 situation. ZywOo repositioning, but we do have ropes on full HP on a big flank as well. Oh, C4 actually dropped all the way into CT, so this is very free round for Vitality. Yeah, there's no way you're retrieving that C4 after using all of your smokes for an execute. Unfortunately, the C4 dropped there. It's 12-11, and now this is the round where the streak ends, obviously. Spoiler alert. Again, like, if flamez would keep doing, by the way, this, he would keep pre-aiming this corner time and time again. And maybe if he didn't fail that one time his own molly and he get completely punished, he would probably still go for this play at the exactly correct rounds. Because once again, I feel like these guys wanted to do some kind of a long punish. That's why there are 3 guys here, 4 guys actually outside long. Okay, so I feel like Vitality had the correct read how to play this game, but because using these rounds or these counters at improper timings, and when actually there was a good timing, flamez screwed it up a little bit by missing utility, the game plan they lost confidence in it, in my opinion. And in the end, they didn't go for the plays which were actually good counters. There's a lot of assumption here, guys, so bear with me, but you can see that I'm basing it on some kind of a logic that we have and all the comms that we have thanks to this game, and Blast for sharing it with us. So in the end, I do feel like they're playing as a team. But right now, FUT are winning the more important rounds and out-aiming Vitality in important duels. Okay, here, uncharacteristically, ZywOo is gonna fumble a little bit on, I don't want to say easy shots, but you would usually see ZywOo hit that shot, for example, but he smartly repositions and goes back. Demon is going to play this lurk perfectly, by the way. He's going to be super patient. And yeah, this is going to be extremely, extremely hard, especially with ropes dying in the back. But Jugs was in a super position here, by the way. He hears everything. Ropes was even ready for this duel, but again, loses it. And you know what? Ropes lost couple of 50-50 duels in this game, which were extremely close to winning and deciding the round. But because he lost pretty much all of them, it was detrimental to how Vitality were always put in a bad position when the drops as a lurker or an anchor died on both D side and CT side. So this is the end of the streak for Vitality, and pretty interesting game, especially with those smokes around. I mean, you can't make that stuff up. All right, let's draw some conclusions, shall we? So now, we'll see the disgrace. And you know what? I've seen way worse games, but I guess for Apeks and for standard of Vitality, you expect more. And bear in mind that his comment was done during halftime, as I mentioned before. So he was referring to the T side only, where he saw two-failed smokes by Zaiwu, poor positioning from Robs and others, lack of cohesion during clutches, maybe some miscoms, which we didn't hear and we cannot really get from the demo that we analyzed. What I'm trying to say is that he didn't have time to analyze what is exactly happening in the moment, like we had discomfort doing right now. Why are they failing certain stuff? So it might have looked way worse from his POV than it actually was, but I do agree that this was uncharacteristic Vitality, and I respect Apeks for saying it bluntly. They went on to win this best of 3, and they're still probably a heavy favorite to win this tournament nonetheless. But after some time, we saw proper frustration in Vitality camp, reminding us that they can also lose some games and make poor decisions. So if you like these breakdowns, let me know by engaging with this video in any way, shape or form, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye-bye. Shout out to you, all of my Patreons and Coffee members, for your continual support. It allows me to create more content like this. Your name is on the screen right now as a little token of appreciation. I used Coffee for years, where you can find extra content and perks at various tiers of membership, but due to popular demand, I set up Patreon too. Nothing changes, both platforms are treated equally, with same content just for your convenience to use whichever side you prefer. Thank you for making my videos better and possible.